Matthew chapter 8 verse 28 to chapter 9 verse 8. Listen to what Jesus has to say about evil. Jesus has power over all evil, spiritual, psychological, and physical. When he came to the other side, to the country of the Gadarenes, two demoniacs coming out of the tombs met him. They were so fierce that no one could pass that way. Suddenly they shouted, "What have you to do with us, Son of God? Have you come here to torment us before the time?" Now a large herd of swine was feeding at some distance from them. The demons begged him, "If you cast us out, send us into the herd of swine." And he said to them, "Go." So they came out and entered the swine. And suddenly the whole herd rushed down the steep bank into the sea and perished in the water. The swineherds ran off, and on going into the town, they told the whole story about what had happened to the demoniacs. Then the whole town came out to meet Jesus, and when they saw him, they begged him to leave their neighborhood. And after getting into a boat, he crossed the sea and came to his own town. And just then some people were carrying a paralyzed man lying on a bed. When Jesus saw their faith, he said to the paralytic, "Take heart, son, your sins are forgiven." Then some of the scribes said to themselves, "This man is blaspheming." But Jesus, perceiving their thoughts, said, "Why do you think evil in your hearts? For which is easier to say, 'Your sins are forgiven,' or to say, 'Stand up and walk'? But so that you may know that the Son of Man has authority on earth to forgive sins." He then said to the paralytic, "Stand up, take your bed, and go to your home." And he stood up and went to his home. When the crowd saw it, they were filled with awe, and they glorified God, who had given such authority to human beings. Do some people still think sickness is associated with sin? The term "Son of Man" comes from the Aramaic and means every man. So every man forgives sin? Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. When a person asks pardon for sins, God forgives the sins. Slowly pray the Our Father, reflecting particularly on the petitions having to do with forgiveness. Think about someone who has offended you and forgive that person. Think about a person you have offended and seek his or her forgiveness.